Good morning, my dear students. So, welcome back to your biology class. Today, we will be starting about a new chapter, that is nervous system. Now, what do we mean by nervous system? Before that, we are in class 7 and we are studying connect with biology. Okay, so ICSE. So, we need to understand that what is nervous system. See, the whole control and coordination in our body is taken care of is done by the nervous system. Okay, for example, what? For example, suppose we are just walking. Okay, now after our first feet we need to raise the second feet and then we need to give again the second feet. Now these mechanism, these like this and these will come and like that. Now, these things are done by the nervous system. Not only that, each and every control of our body. Okay, thus we also call nervous system as the control system of our body. Each and everything, how we are walking, how we are talking, how we are eating food, how we are responding to the outside condition. Okay, for example, now if it is cold, that we are wearing shirts and jackets. Why? Because we are feeling cold, or now it is hot, we are switching on the ACs, or we are just oh my god, it's so hot over there. Now how? Why? This is because of the nervous system. Okay, so each and everything, every control, every coordination, how we are talking, how am I teaching, how you all are listening to me, everything is because of this particular nervous system. Open the chapter human body nervous system. We will be going through this chapter. All living organisms sense changes in their environment and respond to them. Any detectable change in the external or internal environment of an organism is called the stimulus. So what is stimulus? Stimulus is the change. It may be internal, it may be external, but it is the change. A response is the reaction of the organisms due to the stimulus. For example, what? Suppose a mosquito is sitting here in my hand. Okay, now whenever a mosquito is sitting in my hand, it may happen that I am seeing that. So before it is sitting on the hand, I am just slapping the mosquito or just trying to remove it, right? Now the mosquito that I am seeing is the stimulus, this is the outside condition, and the response that I am doing, or the hand that I am doing, this is the response. Now if I am looking on the other side and the mosquito is sitting in here, what will happen? I will feel a certain pain over here, and automatically you will see your hand will rise up and just slap over here, even if without looking. Okay, now this mosquito biting is the stimulus and the slapping of your hand is the response. Am I clear? See, special cells called the receptors are present in the body that can detect different stimulus. Example, photoreceptor in eye, smell receptor in nose, and taste receptor in tongue. Special organ in the body that brings about response are called effectors. Now, what are receptors? When a mosquito is biting over here, I am taking an example of mosquito because it never happened that none of you have ever experienced a mosquito bite. You all have experienced, right? So see, whenever the mosquito is biting over here, the particular cells that are carrying the message to my brain that a mosquito is biting here is due to this receptor, and my hand which is lifting up and coming here to kill the mosquito is due to of the effector muscle. Clear? See, for proper response to stimuli to occur, different organs in the body need to work together in coordination. The nervous system is one such control system that functions to achieve this. The nervous system is responsible for sending electrical signals as nerve impulse throughout our body. These impulses are carried by specialized cells called the neurons or the nerve cell. A neuron is a structural and functional unit of the nervous system. For example, I have already told that cell is a structural and functional unit of a body or of a human being or of any animal or of any living organisms. Just like that, a neuron is a structural and functional unit of the nervous system. It is made up of cell body called cytosol and an elongated projection called axon. The cell body consists of cytoplasm and the nucleus. It gives out branch cytoplasm projection called the dendrites. for receiving stimulus and transmitting nerve impulse to cyton. The axon is the conducting unit of the neuron arising from the cell body. A protective fatty covering called the myelin sheath involves the long axon. It provides insulation to the axon. The axon transmits nerve impulse away from the cell body. The distal end of the axon is branched into axon terminals that end in bulb-like structure called synaptic bulb. The synaptic bulb contains neurochemicals called neurotransmitters. The junction between two neurons, that is between the dendrite of one neuron and the axon terminal of the immediate next neuron, is called the synapse. Okay, now just go through this diagram. Okay, this particular diagram, it is very important. Practice it for drawing as well as practice it for labeling also. Okay, now see, classification of neurons. What are the classification of neurons? Neurons are classified into three types based on their functions. What are they? They are, see, first one is sensory. Second one is motor neuron. And the third one is the interneurons. Now what are they? See, sensory neurons, these neurons receive message from the sensory organs and transmit them to the brain or spinal cord for processing. So what we can say, we can give it like sense organ to brain or spinal cord. Okay, motor neuron, it is just the opposite one. These neurons transmit message from the brain and spinal cord to the muscle or glands for the response to be initiated. Okay, this is from brain or spinal cord to sense organ. Okay, just remember like this. And interneurons, what are they? These neurons connect sensory neurons and motor neurons and conduct impulse between them. They are found only in the central nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord. They connect sensory neuron and motor neuron. Okay, and these are where it is found. Okay, and these are found in brain or spinal cord. Clear? So you need to remember like this. Okay, see, now what is nerve? Several bundles of axons of separate neurons enclosed in tubular sheath forms a nerve. So these neurons, several bundles, see, suppose if this is a particular nerve, then this will contain say some 10,000 or 20,000 of neurons all together. Okay, a nerve is a whitish fiber that provides a pathway for electrical impulse from the central nervous system, that is brain and the spinal cord, to be transmitted to different parts of the body. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves arising from the brain and 31 pairs of spinal nerve originating from the spinal cord. Now organs of the nervous systems, like we have gone through the organs of excretory system, organs of digestive system. Now here organs of the nervous system, what are they? They are brain, cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, spinal cord. Okay, now these are the organs of nervous system. See, brain. The human brain is a dedicated organ made up of soft nervous tissue. The bony skull and the three membranous covering called the meninges protect the brain. A watery fluid called the cerebrospinal fluid fills the space between the three coverings. The brain is the control center of the body, because whatever decision or whatever logic, intelligence, IQ, thinking process, memory, whatever we process is because only of the brain. Now the human brain is divided into three main parts. What are they? They are cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Okay, what are they? Cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and appears like a walnut. The outer surface of the cerebellum is wrinkled, having ridges and furrows. These wrinkles increase the surface area for accommodating a large number of neurons. Externally, the cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres by a longitudinal tissue, the right and the left longitudinal tissue, or the right and the left hemisphere. A sheet of fiber connects this hemisphere internally so that information can be transmitted from one hemisphere to the other. Internally, the cerebral hemisphere is divided into an outer cortex and an inner medulla. Okay. Now the cortex is a grey colored containing cell bodies of the neurons. It is called the grey matter. The inner part consists of white matter which contains axons and the neurons. The cerebellum is the seat of seat of many functions such as voluntary action, intelligence, memory, reasoning, planning, problem solving, emotions and perceptions of sensory impulse. Now you will see that some of us are very intelligent, some of us have very good memory, but others do not have that much of memory. This is because of the cerebrum, because each and every individual possesses different type, different size, different folds of our brain. Okay, these are individual and unique. Now cerebellum. What is cerebellum? And one more thing, cerebrum controls the voluntary actions, that is, I should talk or not, or the actions that are controlled can be controlled by us. But cerebellum contains involuntary actions. See, it is smaller in size and is located under the cerebellum at the back of the head. It is made up of two cerebral hemispheres. The two hemispheres are joined together by pons, which forms a bridge below it. The pons carries impulse from one hemisphere of the cerebellum to another. The cerebellum helps to maintain body balance and it coordinates muscular activity. The impulse of this movement is generated in the cerebellum. An alcoholic person walks calmly, losing his coordination and body balance because of this cerebellum and is affected by the alcohol. Okay, so alcohol affects this cerebellum, and because of that, what happens? People just go like or lose the body balance. Now medulla oblongata, what is it? The medulla oblongata is located at the posterior end of the brain and is continuous with the spinal cord. Now they see this part is the medulla oblongata. Okay, this is very vital and very important part. If anyhow any happen or any force come over here, or it may happen during accident here, the force came, or like something happened over here, definitely the human or the person will die. Okay, it is the most critical and most important part of our brain. Medulla oblongata is located at the posterior end of the brain and is continuous with the spinal cord. The medulla oblongata is responsible for controlling involuntary actions of internal organs such as breathing, heartbeat and movement of food along the alimentary canal. Now comes the spinal cord. What do you see as spinal cord? See, the spinal cord is a cylindrical structure located inside the vertebral column. It extends from the medulla oblongata to the end of the vertebral column. It is made up of 31 segments. Each segment gives out a pair of cranial nerves. The spinal cord transmits nerve impulse from different organs in the body to the brain and vice versa. It is also controls reflex action. Now, what is reflex action? See, reflex action is the involuntary actions which occurs within few seconds or minute fraction of a second. What happened? Suddenly, see, for example, we are touching a hot pan, okay, a hot kadhai or a hot pan. What happens? We generally go over there and we see that here what happens, without our notice, we just touch the hot pan. What will happen? We'll immediately remove the hand over there and we'll say, oh my god, or mago, babago, okay, right, like that. Immediately we'll remove our hand. Now, do you think that after touching the hot pan, you need to think and understand, okay, this is hot, now I should remove my hand? Will it happen? No, it will never happen. This is known as reflex action. Okay, like without our notice, it just came into effect. An automatic, quick and sudden response to a sensory stimulus which is controlled by the spinal cord is called reflex action. All reflex actions occurs unconsciously and there is no involvement of the brain to such action. Some reflex are natural, others are acquired. The natural reflex are inherited from parents while acquired reflex develop during lifetime after learning them. Applying brakes when someone suddenly appears in front of a moving car is an example of acquired reflex. Withdrawing the hand suddenly when a finger touches a hot object is also an example of natural reflex action. Okay, so I hope up till this it is clear. In the next class we will be continuing with the sense organs. Okay, this is up till your nervous system. You will see in your syllabus it is written over there. Excretory system, number 1, number 2 is nervous system, and number 3 sense organ. So this 2 of the part is completed. In the next class we will be going through the sense organ. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of your family. We will be meeting in the next class. If you have any query, then definitely ask me. I'll try to resolve that as soon as possible. Okay, so thank you.